Hey, what's going on? Let's slowly slide this box on the floor with the tip of our toe. What do you say? Let's move it over here. Oh shit. Oh, that was so fucking close. I almost knocked something over back there. You guys are on a tripod. Hold up. It's Ator. Ator. Ator the Vag Destroyer. The destroyer of Vagine. We're almost there. To the happy hunting ground. Okay. Wow, that was pretty expertly done. I don't know if you saw how I did that. You didn't. Maybe you could feel it. But I adjusted the tripod with my thumb. Look at that, see? Bing, bang, bong. I don't really know what's in here. Guess we're gonna look at it and check it out right now. What do you say, huh? Looks like a lot of trash on top. It's trash that I save. These are like pieces of packaging of toys and stuff that I might turn into something. That's when I save them. Here's some sort of a sleeve that looks pretty usable. Let's set that in a different stack. What's this? Oh, this is that particle. So let's put that with that sleeve. These, okay. This is what we're here for. So these are original wrestling figure posters from the 80s that need to be framed. These came from Kevin at Gotham City Comics, Mesa, Arizona. Let me turn the television volume down. You can look at this Randy Macho Man Savage LJN figure poster that needs to be framed and put on the wall. So let's set that aside. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pry. I almost kind of want to have a little bit in the background. I don't even know if you can hear that, but just to break up the total silence, it's at 11. Okay. All right, let's see what's next. It's another poster, undoubtedly. It's Captain Lou Albano. This one actually came with the figure that I also got from Kevin that was in the original packaging and everything. It's just kind of the packaging was beat up and everything, so it wasn't mint and package. It was. I'll show it to you. Excuse me. We got to do a whole thing on it. I'm always saying I'll show it to you. Let's look at it right now. All right, come on. Let's go look at it right now. It's that easy. It's right over here. Come on. First of all, we'll look. This came with the figure. I'm going to show you right now. That poster came in the LJN package with that Captain Lou figure right there. And he's in, I mean, pristine, like just mint condition that I got from Kevin at Gotham City. Just a couple of, I mean, he's perfect condition. Just so solid and heavy. So this is the only real actual vintage LJN in my collection. And so I never even actually felt one of these in hand until Kevin sent me this, until I got this from Kevin. So very, so really cool. These are also from Kevin. These are the little mini bendables that are also vintage from the same time period. George the Animal Steel. And then this guy's perfect because this guy was supposed to be an 82nd Airborne paratrooper. His name is Corporal Kirshner. See how he's even got a little 82nd maroon beret with a flash in the center of his forehead like a goofball. The packaging for that. It's really a mess in this room. But where's the box for that? See, look, it's always like right here. So this packaging, I love it so much that it's sitting right on top here. You just can't see it yet. It's right here. So the originally, that poster was rolled up inside here, and then Captain Lou was on here. And look, it's got the Smitty's toy sticker on it. But this was completely loose, so this is completely off of the card, like this. And so because of that, it greatly decreases the value of these vintage toys. Here's some more vintage stuff that's on the floor here. There's like a slam shifter. We had the slam shifters out last weekend or something. My grandson was playing with slam shifters. These Barbies in this car, my granddaughter, they were playing with that too. And then nobody's interested. Nobody wants anything to do with the vintage Dennis the Menace. Let's take this Jaws with us. I had a funny story to tell about, well, it's not really funny, but it's just something that happened. Hold on. So the other day, they're over here. They're over here. And my grandson, he's like 6.5. He goes, and none of this stuff was here. It was all cleared out. No toys were on the, all this stuff. Everything was not here. When they come over, I clear all the toys, all the figures are off this table. There's no boxes or anything around here. Just last weekend, it was completely clear. And there was no toys here. All this vintage stuff that's out has just been out since 2 weeks ago. They were here like 2 weeks ago. Anyway, so it's all clear. And they're getting toys out to play with and stuff. But all this other stuff is still all out here on the shelves and everything. And which was interesting because this is what he played with more than anything. Of all the toys that you see here, he chose to play with vintage wrestling figures. These were actually the three figures, all of these figures. Everything that's in the front is what he was playing with. Anyway, he goes, "Who's that?" Right? He goes, "Who's that?" And I go, "That's Galactus. You want to see him?" And I go to grab him like this. I go, "You want to see him?" And he goes, No, thanks." I thought it was kind of funny, dude, because I thought he was saying, "Who is that?" because he wanted to see it. Like, "Whoa, who's that?" Like the first, he's like, "Who's that?" And he's like, No, thanks." But he did want to play with Hulk Hogan more than anyone. So of all these figures here, this vintage Hogan figure from like 40 years ago, that's the real thing. It was made for kids to play with. He played with this like crazy. He had him wrapping up Ric Flair. You know how he can wrap around somebody's waist. Say, look, he can do like a body slam. And he had and it all started, really, it started with this wrestling ring over here. So it started because he saw this wrestling ring. And she said, "Is that a wrestling ring?" And I said, "Yeah." And I said, "You know what a wrestling ring is?" Or I can't remember whether he told me how it started was. I said, "Oh, you've watched wrestling?" And he goes, "No, but we watched Nacho Libre, the comedy with Jack Black, which is a pretty good movie actually." So he said, "No, but I watched Nacho Libre." So he like understood the concept, right? And so that's what he wanted to do out of everything here that he could have chosen to play with, But mainly, he was playing with Hot Wheels too. He loves Hot Wheels. All right. That's okay. Come on. So, let's get this Captain Lou poster out. We got to figure out a way to frame all three of these because we also have Greg the Hammer Valentine. This guy was great. This is a great likeness of him too. All of these likenesses are great, but I really like this one. Oops, well, it's coming out the bottom. I've got them in these bags to try and flatten them out, you know, because they come rolled up and they're like 40 years old. And I really like the art here. It's just so good, man. I love the look. I love the look of his face and the asymmetry of his eyes. Let's look closely at these other ones. Captain Lou. It's pretty good likeness, but it's not completely there. It is a little off, you know, especially if you watch a lot of Super Mario Brothers show. You're used to seeing him. All the rubber bands. It's the same. It is. It's the same kids, the same people each time. Then let's look at Randy. It's pretty good. I like how they have him doing the thing that he does with his lips. I kind of do that same thing sometime unconsciously. I only notice it when I happen to see myself doing it on camera. But I do that sort of thing too, where I put my lips in. This is a really great one, man. The main event attraction Principal. It's so freaking awesome. Tonight at the Coliseum. And then what does the Greg Valentine? It says at the Coliseum. So they each say different things there. All right, so we got to put these up. We might have to put these in a frame. We might go like that. Like if we can fit those three into a frame this way, it's possible I do that. Because they're of an odd size, right? They don't fit into a normal frame without without a mat. This is another bag that we need to. This is a large bag we need to save. This is an original art piece by Cecil from Cecil Says. It was created on a stream from the Cope Files. So we have this Cecil drawing that we need to put up somewhere. It will probably go up on one of the bulletin boards. I don't know that it's actually a frameable piece, but I might need to look at it more to get the full depth of it. This was a Cope file. This was an actual drawing of a person that was on stream that was a Cope file. Anyway, so I don't remember. I should probably try and. Gosh, it's too bad. I don't know if I could even find the Cope file that this person is the drawing of. It would be difficult to figure it out. I should have kept track of it and figured it out. It would have been easy if I had noticed it at the beginning, but it's kind of late now. Okay, this was a drawing by that came with a package from John Goris. It's an original drawing. It's crazy how good it is, right? Got some sort of a sticker up here on it. I guess it's folded like this. Yeah, look. It was folded like that. It says, I want you to disseminate some stickers. And then he sent me some stickers with this. This probably had stickers inside of it. Yeah. And then I give those stickers to my kids, or I stick them all over town. Sometimes I stick them on, there's a couple different bulletin boards that have, push pins. And I won't stick them to something, I'll just stick them on the bulletin board with the push pin so that then somebody can take the sticker and they can use it however they would like it. So yes, I want you to disseminate some stickers. Isn't that great? It's always original art with this guy. Amazing. I can already see another one right there. What is this? Oops. Oh, this is some more John Gora stuff. So this is a really cool original drawing we should do something with. This is a great sticker. Gotham City Comics. This is something special. This is some more original art. This is all original art from John Boris, I think. Yes, it is. Wow, this is going to be cool. So much stuff, man. This is from John. This card, all this is together because it must have all come. Yeah. And even this is submit your film to us, the Druid Underground Film Festival. This must have come from John. Otherwise, it wouldn't all be here. Wait till you see this. So look at this. See how this opens up. Watch. Look at that. It's like the coolest pop-up book you've ever seen, isn't it? So we have to put all this together. Some of this is so good that it's so good that I have to do something with it. That's why it's all, this whole box is stuff that is saved for framing, for hanging, for using, for decorating, for, putting up in the apartment. This is all unorganized stuff. Like this card of Carrion, I guess this guy's name is. It needs to go with my other Marvel cards now. It'll be a part of my collection. But the art stuff that's so good, like this little number 73, this needs to go up on the bulletin boards that'll be up in the kitchen. I've got these 4 boards. We'll look at them eventually and get to them when it comes to decorating. This too. Some of these, if I, when I come across little frames, I'll put these in small frames and hang them up. Like there's a couple little pieces that I have hung up in the apartment already. Wow. This is freaking cool. So this is really freaking cool. This is a Bo Derek poster. This totally needs to come out right now and needs to be unfolded and needs to be framed. This is a Bo Derek poster that was sent to me from John. It came from some pack of Bo Derek collector cards from the 1980s. This folded up and it was inside of a pack of cards. This was inside of a pack of cards originally. Now, John has done something to it. See, look, it's poster number 9 of 12, copyright 1981. Svengali Productions. Oh, I wonder if that's John Derek. Fleer Corporation. So, John did something to it. He put a patch of silver on her shoulder. And it also looks like it's like a different, it's like been altered. What's on her hat? This is this very candid shot of her in this, like a racer's jacket or something. Like she's in a car, see? Okay, we gotta pull this out. We gotta put this over with the wrestling posters. Oh, and with it says, I want to disseminate your stickers and this whole thing of the other stuff that we just looked at. It all goes here too. We'll put that on top of the Bo Derek to flatten her a little bit. Look at this. This is interesting. So this is something that came from John that is like some really cool. So, you can see what this is, this is like a drop sheet for something else that he was working on. An edge soaker, soaking up the edges of pages that or something he's working on here. We should, let's see, that we can leave that folded there. This is really cool. Look at this. So first of all, I like this. So I like how this is like the second or third piece like this that he has sent me. And on the back is a letter. Or on the front is a letter. But on the back is the bleed through of the image and of the letters in reverse. Dig the spooky book, years in the making. Man, you want to look at the spooky book? Can I see it from here? Hold on. Look at that for a second. I'm going to see if I can grab the spooky book. How was that? Sorry to do that to you. Sorry to do that to you. This is the spooky book. This entire book is filled with original art pieces. All of these pages. This deserves an entire video just on its own. You have to start at the beginning and move through it. It's amazing. So, yeah, this is beautifully done. There's all kinds of different mediums. A lot of paint. This is a heavy book. And there's a lot of paint in here on these pages. It's heavy. Look at that. Alright. The spooky book. This should go with the spooky book, right? Shouldn't it? A lot of this stuff. Not a lot of it, but some of it. Like, I think this should go with that spooky book. Set that there. Here's another original art piece by John Gores that needs to be framed. It's Conan chopping up some skeletons. It looks amazing. Look at that. We got to pull that to the side. That's going over here to the left. And some of this stuff might be framed tomorrow. It's going to go over here to the left. Look at that. That's great. So, also, that's going up. So a lot of this, so much of this stuff belongs on the wall. A letter on the backside. Look at that. Oh, I love this. Look at that. Amazing, right? Here's a little mat. We're going to save that. That'll go to the side where that other stuff is. Where that is. This is for my grandson, to Grandpa Fish from Cairo. That's awesome. This is when I think he's 5. Let's put that over here to the left also with all the other stuff that has to go up. this should go on the wall. I mean, it used to be on the wall in the kitchen for like the past almost 2 years until I put those comic books up. But now we'll figure out a spot for this. I think it does belong in the kitchen, but we'll put it in a frame. Here's some packaging to the Nature Boy Ric Flair figure that we need to save to use for something. This was, oh, that little thing says Ric Flair. We gotta save that. Here's some macaroni art done by my grandchildren from a camping trip last year. It's hard to display this stuff, but I have to keep it because it's amazing because it was made by my grandchildren. So let's set that over to the left because you can't really lay it flat. It's amazing it's been able to be here. There's like actual rocks from Mount Shasta. So these are from Shasta Campground, I think. These are. This is just so cool. Look at that. It goes this way. Like this, I think. See? It goes like that. I really like it. This should be displayed somehow. Does it say anything on the back? No. It's heavy. How did they glue that on there? Here's another one. Lots of X's and O's, some stickers. Here's Cairo, and he's learning to write his name. Thank you, Cairo. This is going to go up as well. This is a big one that's set over with his hands. Okay. Packaging from those Thundercat DX figures from Super 7. This is actually, it's working. I'm doing some stuff here. I'm getting this stuff separated. All this packaging for mailing things we have to save. Here's a big sheet of foam that we're going to save. Hey, that's cool. So here's something else that we're going to pull out and possibly frame. This is from like about 1982 and 1983 when I used to work at the comic shop on Cannery Row in Monterey, California when I was in high school. This was one of those promo posters that they used to send us, to stick in the window. It was a little shop, and they would anytime they sent us more than one poster, we didn't have any room for the ones that I stuck on the window, so sometimes I would take them home. Not very many. I have a few though. But this is one that I saved the entire time, since those years to now. It's still in really good shape. Is it Michael Golden? Golden does Doctor Strange right. It was a portfolio that they were marketing. But yeah, so let's save that. That goes with the stuff that's frameable. Here is a car calendar from my old mechanic shop. It has some good pictures. This is from my old mechanic that used to spend so much money that he would give me free calendars. It's got some nice cars in here, so we have to save this because, it just opened to, look at how nice that car is. Oh, look at that too. So we have to save this because this is possible, we could do things with these images. Packaging. Here's a lot of packaging from figures from Kid Robot and probably Giant Robot. So I used to save the packaging from certain figures, as you can see. Not only did I used to, I still do. Here's a poster from The Monster Bash Goes to Mars. I like that image a lot. 2013. Wow. I never went to one of these, but I always wanted to. I was even, I considered it, going all the way to Pittsburgh. Mars, Pennsylvania. Because the events were so cool. It always sounded so cool, and I used to subscribe to this magazine. At this time, in 2013, I had a subscription to Scary Monsters magazine, and I have a ton of them. I subscribed to them for years, I don't know, this time period. when I just, the 2010 to 2013 or 14 or 15 or something. I don't know. Okay, so I guess we save this. There's no use in hanging this up anywhere, though I do really like this image. I mean, I guess you could hang this up somewhere, but I don't really have that much room. So instead, is that I can do something with what's here. Maybe that's why we're saving this. So it goes with the stuff to be hung up and everything. I'm not putting this with the packages, the packaging of the whatever. Wow, this is a sports page from probably the San Jose Mercury. See, when San Jose News Sports, Tuesday, July 2nd, 1974. So when you have a newspaper that is this old, it's hard to straighten it out when it's been folded like this. It kind of needs to be steamed or something. Like, I need to boil some water and put this over the stove, and then, you know what I mean? Fans protest NFL gritters strike. Unsoaked bowling? Like Dick Williams never left. First inning protest. The A's and the Angels game. So this would have come from my house in 1974. Okay, it was, the reason I have it is it was inside of an old Foot Locker. That is what we're really trying to get to. This box of stuff was on top of a tote, and underneath that tote is a Foot Locker. Come on, I'll show you real quick. And that Foot Locker used to be one of my dad's old Army Foot Lockers. We got to go back here anyway and turn off the lights. I left the lights on back here. So right here, so that box came off of this. It was on top of here. This has got tons of art in it. It's filled with nothing but drawings and paintings and sketchbooks, and mostly of stuff that I did. Oh shit. But underneath it, down here, this is an old Army Foot Locker of my dad's. My brother, when he was in high school in the 70s and he was a hippie, he painted the Foot Locker, because we all got Foot Lockers. Not we all. Him and I each got Foot Lockers that were my dad's from the Army. I don't have mine anymore. It's in my sister's basement. I'll probably never get it back, but I do have his, and I've had his forever, and he doesn't want it back. He's never wanted it back. I've told him many times, I've got your Foot Locker. So inside that Foot Locker was those old newspapers and some other old stuff that I didn't want. So when I moved from the city in San Francisco, I emptied out the trash that was in this Foot Locker and filled it with a bunch of my stuff that's from the old apartment in San Francisco, including all of the photographs, like all of our pictures, my family's pictures that I have of my kids and stuff, and a bunch of other things. It's got a bunch of other stuff in it that I need to go through and get to. Anyway, it hasn't been touched in like a year and a half. It's been buried underneath there. Plus, I want to get it out because I want to do something about it. Because on the back of it, he didn't paint over the entire Foot Locker. So on the back of the Foot Locker, it's still the original green. It still has my dad's name and serial number on it. You can see that it was an actual Army Foot Locker. So I'm going to figure out a way to get all this hippie paint off. Excuse me. So that's why we're doing this, really. I mean, I do need to find stuff to hang up, and I really am glad, because I didn't even know that art from John was in here, and all this other stuff. These newspapers we need to do something with. Maybe we're going to look at them right now. Are you interested in looking at a sports page from 1974? I mean, I'm telling you, I am. I'm kind of bummed about it being bent like this. That's what I was saying. It's kind of makes it difficult to open it up. Oh, it's gonna, wow. 1974. So what is that? It's 50, is that 50 years ago? Is that 52 years? It is. It's 52 years, 51 years ago. Jiminy Cricket. You guys want to see what the paper looks like? Talent agency operators fine. What's the date again? Tuesday, July 2nd. Okay, so it's 2 days before 4th of July. At the Ramada Inn, now playing Bittersweet. Also Herm. What is that? This place. Let's talk about that in a second, but let's look at this ad. Now playing Wednesday through Thursday, Friday and Saturday, 9:30 to 1 a.m. Bittersweet and also Herm during the cocktail hour, Wednesday through Saturday. Lunch daily in the cantina. Dinner nightly in the coffee shop. So these are bands. What kind of band, what kind of music do you think that is? Marine World Africa USA. 6 new shows. Don't miss the 4th of July weekend. Okay, so they had to close this place. This place was cool. I loved it. But they had to close it because it was one of those wild animal parks where you drove your car through and there were like lions and antelopes and some, you get the idea. There was a liability issues, and it didn't stay open for very long. But when it first opened, the commercials were crazy. I was like, Mom, I want to go to Marine World Africa USA. And my mom was like, there's no way I'm driving you and having lions go up to the windows, because that's what it showed in the commercials. My mom, she didn't play. You know, she was just very, anyway, she's like, no, we're not going, I'm not driving the car into a freaking safari, no. So, damn. Oh, look at this. So, oh, man. So we saw her. I don't know if this is the year. Actually, this might be a show that we saw. So anyway, we used to see all these shows in Harris. My mom had like season tickets. She was I don't know, what do you call it? It's not like she was a regular, okay? She was a regular loser at the casinos. And anyway, we always had tickets to these dinner shows, and really front row seats sometimes. Like I saw her front row like when I was like 5 years old. She like came up to our table and like gave me a kiss on the cheek. It was like amazing. But I never saw Lawrence Welk, but we did go to his theater in Palm Springs, and I saw Camelot there with Robert Goulet. My mother was funny. All you can eat. I mean, not funny. She liked to spend money and do things and go out and see stuff during these old days. So she read this paper every day, and she did all this stuff. And we saw everybody in Harris. Everybody at Harris. All you can eat at the Bradford House. Golden fried clam dinner for $1.69. Includes coleslaw, French fried potatoes, roll and butter. Look at all these locations. I've never even heard of the Bradford House. I don't remember it. Grant's Bradford House. So, 1, 2, 3, 3 San Jose locations and 1 Santa Clara location. What a great deal. Maria Moldar relishes midnight at the Oasis. Send your camel to bed. What is this? The Humanist Renaissance Festival. Now, this is something my brother would have gone to. Pottery, jugglers, batik, magicians, jewelry. I think batik is tie-dye. I don't know though. Jewelry, mimes, leather goods, food. You know who was probably at this place in 1974? Robin Williams was probably here. He was probably here doing the mime bit that weekend. What's over here? this a carpet ad? Triple M carpets are on sale. So I have no. If there's any of you guys out there that are in wall and floor coverings, you're probably deeply interested in these prices. And you're like, oh my God, can you believe the price of nylon polyester in 1974? Okay, here we go. You guys want to look at an old newspaper? I mean, we're doing it already. Wet and winning. 49er rookie will snub NFL strike. 1974. This is a couple years after the 72 Olympics when Mark Spitz won 7 gold medals, right? Forecast for a great weekend. It's Johnny Walker Black Label, right? Let's see. Johnny Walker Red. Let's read this ad. Forecast for a great weekend. Good weather, good friends, Johnny Walker Red. We can't promise good weather, but we can promise you a great scotch, which you can enjoy with good friends. Remember to say Johnny Walker Red. You won't get it by just saying scotch. Oh, sweet. Here's the wrestling ad. Okay, let's see what we got. We got real wrestling. It's real. That's the real thing. Look, it's Rocky Johnson and Peter Maivia. Holy crap. Right? So isn't this is Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. This is his dad. And Peter Maivia, I think that's his grandfather. I think this is, son-in-law and father-in-law. I think that Rocky Johnson married Peter Maivia's daughter, who is Dwayne Johnson's mother. I could be wrong, but that's where I think that's what's happening here. Let's get to the top. Look at this lineup. San Jose Civic Auditorium promoters were John Swensky and Lou Whitson on a Wednesday night at 8:30. Pat Patterson and Raul Mata. I don't know that name, but I do know Pat Patterson. He was at the time right around, well, really the first time I saw wrestling was a couple years before this. It was probably about 1972 or 1970, and on local television in the Bay Area in San Jose where I lived, it was called Big Time Wrestling. It came on the same channel as like the Three Stooges and the Little Rascals and stuff. And on the commercials and on the little bit that I watched, Pat Patterson was like the baby face. He was like, but he was an odd, weird baby face. They just liked him. It was strange, but he was. Kurt and Carl von Bronner. Von Bronner demand 2 referees and get them. So there's Rocky Johnson and Peter Maivia versus Mr. Saito and Dick Slater. Bobby Shane and versus Blackjack Slade. $2.50. Ringside was only, look at that, ringside, $3. General admission $2.50. Kids $1. 6 to 12. Under 6 are free. Box office opens at 11. This will be a wrestling exhibition sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission. So it opens. Oh, so you can get there at 11 a.m. and buy your tickets because the show doesn't start until 8:30. I really liked that ad, you guys. I should do something with this. So, obviously, I have to do something with this whole newspaper. There's a lot of cool stuff in it. Look at this Aptos Seascape ad. Give yourself some breathing room. This is a beautiful spot. This little town on the California coast, real close to Santa Cruz, between Santa Cruz and Monterey, Aptos. And this is the beginning of them selling beachfront property in Aptos. And now it's like impossible to live there. But back here, at this time in 1974, you could like buy a beach house there. That's what they're suggesting you do. It's about a half hour away from San Jose and San Francisco. Right on the beach. Wait, long time. Who's this? Joe Rudy. Oops. Let's came apart. Freedom Fireworks. Hiram Walker's 10 High Straight Whiskey. That goes like that. This goes like this. I like this tiger. I always liked this tiger. You know, this, what's he called? Firestone? Is that, no, it's Exxon. It's the Exxon tiger. This is kind of a different look for him. I don't remember him looking like that, but this is 1974. He's kind of a hippie, isn't he? Here's some baseball scores and standings. Local minor league. Shortstops bunched in National League voting. Celebrity Net Ducats on sale. World Cup Soccer. Live via satellite. Giant screen color. No home TV. West Germany versus Poland and Brazil versus the Netherlands. And the championship final, it was at the Cow Palace. They were expensive tickets. Look at that. Interesting. I didn't know that existed. I didn't know they were doing that in 1974, but I guess in 1974, the only way you could watch the World Cup, unless you had satellite, which not very many people did in 1974, was to go to the Cow Palace and buy expensive tickets. Oh, this is what we wanted. It's the movies. Okay, this is kind of the best part of the newspaper. This was, other than the comics, when I was a kid, this was the first thing I turned to when we got the paper. What's this section? Angie Dickinson, policewoman, Big Bad Mama back on right side of law. All right, let's start over here. This is at the Garden. Donald Sutherland and Elliot Gould in Spies and The Heartbreak Kid. So I saw both these movies and I don't remember them. So I saw every movie almost when it came out. Like, we went to the movies like at least once a week as a family. So I'm pretty sure I saw both those movies. This is at downtown San Jose. Noon Daily Bargain. See, this is going to be so fun, dude. Look at this place. This was just a grinder, wasn't it? So at the Garden, free parking, Lincoln Avenue. So I don't know that we ever went to this theater. I saw these movies, but not at the Garden, I don't think. This is like a grindhouse theater. Look at this. It's downtown, which was sketchy in the 70s. Noon Daily Bargain Matinees. Truck Turner, The Red Tent, and a weekday bonus kung fu movie called Bamboo Gods versus Iron Men. I don't know any of those movies. I've never heard of any of them. There's the drive-in. Now, we did go to the drive-in sometimes. Two shock absorbers. That's funny, man. Exorcism's Daughter and First The Godfather, now The Family. What does that even mean? So the movie's called The Family, and Exorcism's Daughter was at the El Rancho. Wow, Lords of Flatbush. So I didn't see, I saw Lords of Flatbush later, but it was like when it came on HBO and Showtime about 5 years after this, when we first got HBO in about 1978. So, but I hadn't seen the movie at this point. Where Were You in 58? The Lords of Flatbush and Let the Good Times Roll. I don't know what that movie is. Let the Good Times Roll. That's at the Bayshore. Tropicare #1. I love just the names of these places, and look how many of them there were. These are all drive-ins. The Tropicare #1, you could see Truck Turner with Isaac Hayes, so that's also at the Jose. Truck Turner and James Brown in Slaughter. And then at the Tropicare #2, it's a double header of Ralph Bakshi cartoons. It's The 9 Lives of Fritz the Cat and Heavy Traffic. Wow. What a night that must have been. I bet there was like pot smoke coming out of them, billowing out of all these cars and parking in the drive-in. Gone is the Romance That Was So Divine. Robert Redford and Mia Farrow, The Great Gatsby. So I saw this. We saw this. It would have been at the Winchester. So we saw all of our movies at the Winchester Theater. There's two of them. There's a drive-in and there's a regular theater. It was called the Century Theater. So they're right near, the Winchester Mystery House at the old Winchester Ranch, which is close to where our house was. So this is the closest theater to where we lived. We didn't really go to Oak Ridge, but this was a big mall, the Oak Ridge 6. It was a huge mall. But anyway, this is where we saw stuff. And we saw The Great Gatsby there, and I fell asleep. Oh, dude. Wow. I'm so glad I hope you're enjoying this. This is one of the longest videos I've ever made. I want to just keep looking at this because it's so cool. I mean, I'm going to look at it anyway, and if you want to look at it while I'm looking at it. Number 1 in adult entertainment, the Pink Poodle Theater presents the loveliest nude dancers in the Bay Area. Live nude show every hour. This is a big deal at this time. Plus extra hardcore adult movies, color and sound. Escorted ladies admitted free. Amateur nude dance contest every Monday night at 9 p.m. Prize money $40, $25, $15, and $10. Sign up now. It's on Bascom Avenue, which was in my old neighborhood. This is also close to where we used to live, Bascom Avenue. So I don't remember this place, the Pink Poodle Theater. My mom probably does, or she did. I don't remember this place, but look at the art. So it's like a French poodle, and it's pink. It's got a big diamond ring right here, and it's a female poodle. Obviously, it's got like eyelashes and lipstick on. Its hair is all done up. Amateur Bottomless Sunday at 8 p.m. This is just the regular paper, you guys. This is where I grew up. It's just the San Jose News. Maybe you didn't grow up someplace that had this in the newspaper. I don't know. I'm not sure I even knew that this was in the newspaper. I didn't know that I owned it. Amateur Bottomless Sunday at 8 p.m. Bottomless plus stag movies, adult books and magazines for sale. See you at the Streaker on El Camino Real in Palo Alto. Linda Lovelace and Miss Jones on closed circuit TV in the unique atmosphere of plush velvet mirrored rooms with king-size waterbeds. Special rates Sunday through Thursday, also daytime rates. The Regency Lodge, adults only. This is motel where you can go and have adult relations. This is made is that what's happening here? So this is a motel that's made for people to go and just have hourly sex rates. Is that it? Also daytime rates. I'm just guessing. I mean, use the room? What is up? It's at the Burbank. So the Burbank Theater on Bascom Avenue had 3 features, and it opens at 12 noon. It's $3 if you're alone, and it's $5 if it's a couple. And you can see Sexathon, Wanton Nymph, and Partnership. Hardcore action galore. Program change every Thursday. The Couples Theater. What does that mean? So sometimes what that means, and there was a theater in my old neighborhood in Monterey that had this, the back rows of the theater, instead of the chairs being regularly set up, the armrests that are between the 2 chairs are removed, and the chairs are put together, and only the armrests only exist on the outside. Do you understand what I'm talking about? So 2 chairs will be together without an armrest between them, and then it goes like that for the whole back 2 or 3 rows of the theater. And it's real dark back there. I'm not sure what's happening back there, but that was a thing that existed. All the way into the 80s when I was in high school, that existed. A couple places had like privacy walls. Fully explaining, it's almost at the back row of the theater, the chairs would have like a partition between them on the sides, on the outside. These weren't like triple X theaters, but sometimes, you know, there was some sort of a switch over. You know what I mean? Like they could be used, or they had been used in that purpose. Okay, so I definitely saw these movies. So obviously, I saw The Poseidon Adventure, probably more than once in the theater, even Hell Upside Down. Plus Lee Marvin and Emperor of the North. This is such a great movie. What a double feature. I don't know if I saw this in the theater. I might have, but a lot of times when we would go to these double features, I was a little kid. I was like 6 or 7 years old. Like in 1974, I was 9, I think. I would fall asleep during these second features because it would be late at night, man. I mean, the first one would start at like 8 o'clock or something, and then the second one would be, see, look at these hours. And so we'd be there all night. You know, we get there at 7 and we freaking leave at 11 o'clock. Yeah, so I would like be dozing off. I don't remember where the lilies bloom, but I definitely remember on a clear day we saw all of this stuff. She loved all of anything of this. I saw this. I never got to see Billy Jack for the same reason why I saw. Oops, I did something. I pushed a weird button. For the same reason that I did see this, I didn't see this because she's like, I don't want to have you exposed to anybody violently harming anyone else. That was like kind of one of her things. It didn't work. I ended up professionally doing those things. Hacienda Cinemas, Old Yeller and The Incredible Journey. Those are two great movies. Two Walt Disney hits together. Robert Redford, just so good. So I saw this in the theater right at this time. It was out. So this movie was a huge impact on me. I freaking love this movie so much. When I was a little kid, I saw this and I just wanted to be that guy. I don't remember Judge Roy Bean. I remember Dirty Mary Crazy Larry. I don't think I saw it in the theaters though. Legend of Hell House, I don't think I saw it in the theater. That Cat is Back. The 9 Lives of Fritz the Cat. Colored by Movie Lab. I've only seen these movies a couple times, and you know, as an adult, and they didn't make a big impact on me. They weren't as good as I thought they were going to be. I saw Fritz the Cat in the theater when I was in high school, at the same theater I was telling you about that had the couple seats in it, the Dream Theater. So I did see Fritz the Cat at a midnight movie, but I don't think I saw 9 Lives. I might have, though. It might have been a double feature or something. Same with Heavy Traffic. George Siegel, The Terminal Man. So we saw this at the theater. This was based on a book by Michael Crichton, I think, that my mother read. Yeah, it says right down there. Yeah, so she was on top of everything. As much as you could be in 1974, she was whatever was popular, and so she had read this book already before this movie was made, and she was into it. I need to rewatch it because I probably fell asleep halfway through. Okay, Cambrian Cinemas. I gotta readjust a little bit. My back is getting stoved up. Let's turn the volume off before this commercial comes on. Alright. Not much longer, guys. Whoever you are who's watching this. Cambrian Cinemas 1 and 2. The first twin adult theater opened 10 a.m. daily. Loads of free parking, ultra deluxe theaters. In Cinema 1, the one and only Deep Throat plus The Devil and Miss Jones. Cinema 2, Deep Tango, starring Mona Watson plus The Classmates, both in color. Coming in person, Mona Watson on Wednesday, July 3rd. Is that her right there? Wow, that's that today? Today's the 2nd or the 3rd? Shit, she'll be there tomorrow. What time is Mona Watson going to be at the Twin? Wednesday, July 3rd. Opens at 10 a.m. daily. Surely she won't be there at 10 a.m. There's a number. Call and find out what time they think that she might be showing up. All male films, hardcore adults only. Now showing Walk on the Wild Side plus shorts. The Paris Theater. I wonder if this was just like a gay theater. Look at how much there is. Wow. We just found a gold mine. And look over here, there's a Blazing Saddles ad. Jesus, you guys, we might be here for friggin' hours. I might have to light a cigarette. Maybe find a better position or get it better lit. I mean, it's okay. It's been showing up on my camera. Hold on. Wow. This is just a gold mine we found. I didn't know this was in here. So I knew that these newspapers were in that chest. I knew that I had cleared out that chest and put all that stuff in there. All the pictures, and then there's a bunch of knives and swords in there. There's no illegal weapons in there, but there's a bunch of weapons in there. It's filled with samurai swords and different types of knives and things like that. And that's what makes it so heavy. There's a bunch of knives in there and swords. But I didn't know that this was in this paper. I had never opened this paper up and read it. I just knew it was in the bottom of my brother's chest that he didn't want and cared nothing about. Multiple times I asked him, I said, "Do you want this chest?" He would come out to visit. Come to California. He doesn't live in California. And he would come. Like for the past 20 years I've had his chest, or 40 years I've had his chest. The whole time. He's never wanted it. So. All right. United Artists Theaters at the Prune Yard. So we used to go here a lot at this theater, the Prune Yard. See, it's on Campbell and Bascom Avenue. This is where Old Yeller, Incredible Journey, Our Time, The Last Detail, and Cinderella Liberty. Wow, these are two great movies. I love both of these movies. I didn't see them when I was a little kid, but I saw them, I learned about them and watched them as an adult. I love them both. This is one of my all-time favorite movies, is The Last Detail. At the Regency is El Topo. You must see it more than once, plus The Devils. Cinema 150 on El Camino is The Nine Lives of Fritz and Heavy Traffic. The Moonlight has Truck Turner plus Miss Melody Jones. I like that ad right there. Walt Disney, Old Yeller plus Incredible Journey. So everything we're looking at is all like actually physically printed with these little like they're like stamps that fit into these trays. Watch a video on how they made these newspapers and how they did these ads. This was all placed together by human hands in like a box. These are like stamps, and that's how I would describe it. Blossom Hill Cinemas, The Way We Were Winning, Woody Allen, Sleeper, and MASH. What a great double feature. The Teacher, Where Does It Hurt? PTA sponsored summer film series. Oh, look at this. This week's program, Willard and Batman. Oh man, I wonder what the hours were on that. So you could go, this was like a kid show. There was one at the Prune Yard Wednesday. You could go see Willard and Batman. I wonder if I went to that. This is the type of stuff my mom would have took me to this. She would have like read this in the paper and said, "Hey, on Wednesday I'm taking you to the Prune Yard. You're going to be there all day watching Willard and Batman." That's how it would go. And then she would drop me off and then come back in 4 hours, and I would go stand outside and wait for her to drive up and pick me up. That's totally the truth. There wasn't even any phone conversations made. It's not like I called her on a payphone and said, "Hey mom, come pick me up." She would come when she knew the movie was over, and then she would go shopping for 4 hours or go somewhere and go do something. A Joyful Time of Your Life Extravaganza, Christian Science Monitor, Lady Mame. So we saw this in the theater and it bored the crap out of me. I remember being bored by this movie. I think I slept. Reason to Live, Reason to Die, plus Revengers. I don't know what those are. But see, this again, this also looks like probably like a Grindhouse type movie. Theater. Grindhouse type theater. But maybe not. I mean, these are good movies. Look at this, Serpico and Save the Tiger. Wow. These amazing double features. Isn't that amazing? Ooh, look at this. Amateur Topless Tonight. Acclaimed. Wow, how good must this have been? Like in 1974. Imagine, like a Bueno Arbusto. Like, I mean, it would be like amazing, ridiculous. Just look at the hair on her head. So, Amateur topless tonight. Acclaimed best amateur topless in the Bay Area. Enter now. First place is 100 beans, and so on. At 9:30 at the Hip Hugger. So I've never been to this Hip Hugger, but I have been to another bar called the Hip Hugger that was also a topless bar. That was in Fayetteville, North Carolina. It was one of our favorite bars. That's one of the best bars of this type in Fayetteville in the old days was the Hip Hugger, in my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comment if you agree. The sensational Joy Jewel. 5 shows daily. Ugh, what a long day for Joy. She starts at 5, then she's back on at 8, and then at 9:30, and then at 11, and then at 12:30. Oof. She looks like a sweet girl. I hope she's doing okay. Joy Jewel. Now the only film that could replace Deep Throat is High Rise. High Rise gets it. Depicts a nicer and brighter world than we'll ever see, says Dave Mason from the San Francisco Phoenix. Call theater for added program information. High Rise reaches a new level of adult entertainment at the Pussycat Theaters at Pussycat 2 on San Salvador. Opens daily at 9:45 a.m. Edited for drive-in showing. Linda Lovelace in Deep Throat Part 2 in color. The Spartan Auto movie. I like this. Yeah. Co-features The Roommates. Stag movies. Color. Only $3. Sound. Air conditioned. Adults over 18 welcome. Books. 8mm stag film for sale. Bachelor Club. South 1st Street. Man, look this place up on Google Earth and see where this place is. 417 South 1st Street. What was this place, man? I bet you it's completely gone. I bet you most of these places are Walmart parking lots. Movie ratings for parents and young people. Just in case you hadn't figured it out yet. Half of the stuff on this page is X. It's amazing. I didn't remember this existed. I really didn't. I don't even know that I was full. This didn't impact me as a kid. So even though I looked at this every week to look at the movies, to see what was playing, none of this impacted me. I don't remember being enthralled by any of this, other than I remember the advertisements on TV for Deep Throat. And I remember the jokes about Deep Throat, like on talk shows on television and stuff. So I knew about Deep Throat, but I didn't even really understand what it meant. But it's weird, but I didn't have any interest in any of this stuff. I didn't know. I don't remember it even existing. This ad for the Hip Hugger with the picture of Joy Jewel, I need to do something with that. San Jose Auto movie. Love Me Please. A Weekend with Strangers. That's kind of a creepy picture to me. I don't think this is not sexy at all. The best in the area adult movies, air conditioning. Opens at 10 a.m. The Copenhagen Theater. Sex devils will possess you with laughter when you see Last Foxtrot in Burbank, plus Climax. This is dynamite, man. I mean, I just think this stuff is cool. I don't know what to tell you other than that. I think it's really cool. Maybe you think it's weird and you think I'm a weirdo. I don't know why you'd be watching this channel. But that's what's going on here. That is important. We need to save it. Alright. So here's the real movies. I don't think we're going to get any more sex stuff. Just going to go over all the stuff that we already looked at, probably. Truck Turner, Chinese Connection, Lords of Flatbush, You Only Live Twice, and Diamonds Are Forever. That would have been good. Robin Hood and One Little Indian. That's a strange double feature. I don't know what that. See, there's a big G next to Robin Hood. Is that the Disney version with One Little Indian? Day of the Dolphin and Billy Jack and Jeremiah Johnson. Meridian Quad. Saw all of these movies. Sleeper, The Way We Were, not Lords of Flatbush, but Jeremiah Johnson. I don't know what Our Time was. I didn't see that. Didn't see Truck Turner. We got some live stuff coming up here in a second. Chinatown, saw this, fell asleep. Parallax View, I don't think I saw that. The Sting, I saw it, didn't understand it. The song wouldn't stop playing. It wouldn't stop playing. This song, matter of fact, this song from this movie is what influenced my brother to focus on ragtime piano. And he was already like a piano, he was like a little genius kid. And anyway, he could already play piano really well by ear. And this movie made him a huge fan of the musician Scott Joplin. And so I freaking couldn't wait for this guy to go to boarding school, which he eventually did. And I never had to see him again. But up until like the time he was about 12, I fucking had to listen to this song on the piano downstairs, man, like every day and at night. And he would write his own rags and stuff, and he was really good, and it was very tiresome. He imposed upon himself. He imposed upon. Anyway, it got old. I was fucking tired of his talent. Anyway, thank God he left this newspaper in the bottom. There's the greatest art that my brother ever created was leaving this newspaper behind in the bottom of his hippie chest. All right, look at this ad for The Exorcist. It looks amazing. I kid. I'm just kidding. I joke. I'm kidding because I love him. He probably watches these videos. I'm pretty sure he does. What's up, dickhead? All right. Blazing Saddles, Clint Eastwood, Thunderbolt, and Lightfoot. Fucking great movies. Look at these movies. Every movie has been good. Even the shitty ones are good compared by today's standards. The whole thing is good by today's standards. This whole idea that this is how you had to glean information every day. I was looking through this this ancient paper. Benefit Champagne premiere tonight at 8 p.m. Sammy Barbara. For Pete's sake. I don't remember that movie. Three Musketeers we saw with Oliver Reed, right? Huckleberry Finn, a musical adaptation. I don't remember that at all. And Support Your Local Gunfighter. This is a Jimmy Garner movie with James Garner. Interesting. The Century 25. Wow, look at all these kids' movies. This was a shitty Dean Jones, Mr. and Super Invisible. This was some crappy movie. I saw this. I remember that you're like, oh, it's Dean Jones. And you think that it's going to be a good movie because you figure that he's got some sort of contract deal with like Disney to only make good movies about $1 Million Ducks and Herbie the Love Bug. But apparently Dean's contract ran out, or he was offered some money by some, I don't know, who made this movie. It sucks. Mr. Super Invisible. There's American Graffiti. There's Old Yeller. Matinees Daily. Dirty Mary. Crazy Larry. American Graffiti and Take the Money and Run. What a great double feature that would be. Oh, look at this. This is a cool double feature too. Chinatown and the Newer Centurions. I think George C. Scott is in this movie. I read this book when I was a kid. I still have this book. It was really good. It's that same guy that wrote The Onion Field. I can't think of his name right now. I used to like to read police books. The real ones, that were written by ex-cops and stuff like that. So I think Harry Belafonte is coming to town at the Circle Star. This is also something that my mother would have gone to see, but I wouldn't have gone to see Harry Belafonte. She wouldn't. This would have been a show, like an adult, just her with a friend, and it wouldn't have included me or any of the kids. She would go see something like this by herself. But she had like season tickets to this place. We saw multiple things at the Circle Star Theater, many different big shows like The Music Man and Fiddler on the Roof, and all that stuff. So part of my childhood was, I guess, entertainment, like live type. She was into entertainment. Everybody was. It wasn't an unusual thing. Is that everything? I guess it is, man. This is so good. So this is kind of shit. There's certain things, only certain ones. This is the one we need right here. So some of this we can just fold back up, right? We can kind of try and straighten it out later. But what we really want is this one page. Like, I mean, this is the page that I want. I really like this. That. We might even, we're going to make that like our thumbnail. Should we make that the thumbnail? Try it. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, we got to save that. There's more. There's like so many more paper here. So many more papers. But I have a feeling that it's like the whole paper. And so we probably just looked at the best part of the paper, right? Flea market sidewalk sale. I gotta take a break now, you guys. It's just been so long. I'm sitting here looking at these papers. There's a whole, I didn't know these were, so I knew these papers were here, man, but dolls move into hands of investors. What the hell? Focus on human liberation. I didn't know there was this much of it. I've never looked at all of it. Never looked at all of this. I just know it. I knew it was there. 74 Dotsons. Comics coming up. Wow, the whole paper. How many more papers are here? Wow. Whew. Thanks for hanging out for an hour and 15 minutes. Looking at this really cool newspaper. I'll talk to you next time. I like doing these late night videos, and then I like kind of posting them on off hours too, just remember what I said about the road less traveled and like not trying so hard. In fact, doing the opposite, not trying at all. Just like having fun, right? Just having fun, that's all. All right. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Talk to you next time.